I'm holding DNA test results that say the daughter I've raised for 8 years isn't mine. Her kidneys are failing. She has 2 weeks to live. And somewhere out there is my real daughter who might be the only person who can save her. I'm Sarah. I'm 30 years old. And 3 weeks ago, I thought I had a normal life. A beautiful 8-year-old daughter named Emma. A decent job as a nurse. A small apartment in Denver. Nothing special, but it was ours. It was enough. Then everything fell apart in a single phone call. It was a Tuesday afternoon. I was at work at the hospital where I've been a pediatric nurse for 6 years. My phone rang. The school. Emma's school. Ms. Chen, Emma collapsed during recess. The ambulance is taking her to Denver General. You need to come now. My heart stopped. I grabbed my keys, told my supervisor, and ran. The entire drive to the hospital, I kept thinking about how Emma had seemed fine that morning. Ate her cereal, complained about a math test. Completely normal. How could she have collapsed? When I got to the emergency room, they had her on a gurney, unconscious. Pale. So pale. I'm a nurse. I see sick kids every day. But seeing my kid like that, it destroyed me. The doctor pulled me aside. Dr. Martinez. I knew him from working at the hospital. Good doctor. Kind eyes. But when he looked at me that day, I saw something that terrified me. Pity. Sarah, Emma's kidneys are failing, both of them. It's acute. We don't know why yet, but we need to start dialysis immediately and get her on the transplant list. Transplant? I couldn't breathe. She's 8 years old. How can she need a kidney transplant? Sometimes it happens. Genetic conditions, infections. We're running tests, but right now we need to stabilize her. They admitted Emma to the ICU, hooked her up to machines. I sat by her bed holding her hand while she slept, watching her chest rise and fall, praying to anyone who would listen. The test results came back 3 days later. Dr. Martinez sat me down in a private consultation room. Emma has a genetic kidney disease. It's rare, very rare. The damage is extensive. She needs a transplant as soon as possible. I'll donate, I said immediately. Test me. I'm her mother. I'm a match, right? He looked uncomfortable. Sarah, immediate family members aren't always matches. We'll test you, of course, but we need to explore all options. The waiting list for pediatric kidneys is long. Years sometimes. She doesn't have years. I know. That's why we'll test you immediately. And her father... My jaw clenched. Not in the picture. Never has been. Emma's father, if you can even call him that, was a one-night mistake when I was 22. He wanted nothing to do with us. Signed away his rights before Emma was even born. It's been just me and her for 8 years. Just us against the world. Anyone else? Siblings? Your parents? I'm an only child. My parents are both gone. Car accident when I was 26. Dr. Martinez nodded sympathetically. Okay, we'll test you first thing tomorrow. In the meantime, Emma will continue on dialysis. I spent that night in Emma's hospital room. She woke up a few times, confused, scared. Mommy, why am I here? I want to go home. Soon, baby. Soon. The doctors are helping you get better. It hurts, Mommy. My tummy hurts. I held her hand, stroked her hair, tried not to cry in front of her. She fell back asleep, and I sat there in the dark, watching the machines beep and whir, keeping my baby alive. The next morning, they drew my blood for the compatibility test. The nurse said results would take a few days. I went back to Emma's room and waited. Those were the longest 3 days of my life. I barely slept, barely 8. Just sat with Emma, reading her books, watching her favorite shows, trying to keep her spirits up while inside I was dying. On day 3, Dr. Martinez asked me to come to his office. I thought he was going to tell me if I was a match or not. I was nervous, but hopeful. I'm her mother. I have to be a match. I have to be able to save her. I walked into his office. He was sitting behind his desk with a folder in front of him. His face was pale. Something was wrong. "Sarah, sit down, please." I sat. "Am I a match? When can we schedule the surgery?" He opened the folder, pulled out papers. "Sarah, there's a problem with the test results." "What kind of problem? Is my kidney not healthy? I can fix that. I'll do whatever." "You're not a compatible donor." My heart sank. "But I'm her mother. How can I not?" "Sarah." He interrupted me gently. "You're not a compatible donor because, according to the DNA test, you're not Emma's biological mother." The room tilted. I couldn't have heard him correctly. "What?" "The compatibility test includes DNA markers. Sarah, there's no genetic relationship between you and Emma." "That's impossible. I gave birth to her. I was there. She came out of my body." Dr. Martinez looked like he might be sick. "Are you absolutely certain?" "Yes. I was in labor for 14 hours. I held her the moment she was born. How can you tell me she's not mine?" He pulled out more papers, showed me charts, graphs, scientific explanations I could barely process. "According to these results, there is 0% chance that you are Emma's biological mother." I couldn't breathe. The room was spinning. "Then whose daughter is she?" "I don't know, but Sarah, we need to consider the possibility that there was a mistake at the hospital when Emma was born. Where did you deliver?" "Here, Denver General, 8 years ago." His face went even paler. "What date?" "March 15th, 2016. He wrote it down. "Sarah, I need to bring this to hospital administration immediately. If there was a switch..." "A switch? You think they gave me the wrong baby?" "It's the only explanation that makes sense." I stood up so fast my chair fell over. "Then where is my baby? Where is my real daughter?" "I don't know, but we're going to find out." I couldn't process this. I walked out of his office in a daze, went back to Emma's room. She was sleeping, her small body hooked up to machines, fighting for her life. This child, this little girl I'd raised for 8 years, who called me mommy, who I'd stayed up with through fevers and nightmares, who I'd taught to ride a bike and read and be brave. She wasn't mine, but she was. She was mine in every way that mattered except biology. And she was dying. I sat down next to her bed and cried. Quiet, desperate sobs that I tried to muffle so I wouldn't wake her. What was I supposed to do? There was a child out there somewhere who was genetically mine, who I'd never met, who might be the only person who could save Emma. And there was Emma, the daughter of my heart if not my blood, who needed a kidney transplant she might never get. The hospital administration moved fast. Within hours, they'd pulled records from March 2016. There were 4 babies born at Denver General on March 15th. 4 girls, me, and 3 other mothers. The hospital's lawyer, a sharp woman named Patricia Montgomery, called me into a meeting the next day. Dr. Martinez was there, the hospital CEO, a team of lawyers. "Ms. Chen," Patricia began carefully, "we believe there may have been an infant switch 8 years ago. We're conducting a full investigation." "Investigation? My daughter is dying. I don't care about investigations. I need to find my biological daughter so we can test if she's a match." "We understand. We're locating the other 3 mothers from that day. We'll be conducting DNA tests on all families involved. How long will that take? We're expediting everything. A few days. Emma doesn't have a few days. She has 2 weeks. Maybe. The CEO, a man in his 60s, cleared his throat. Ms. Chen, I want you to know that the hospital takes full responsibility for this error. We will cover all medical costs for Emma's care and— I don't want your money, I interrupted. I want my daughter's life saved. That's all I care about. They promised to move as quickly as possible. I went back to Emma's room. She was awake, playing with a tablet one of the nurses had brought her. Mommy, when can I go home? I sat on her bed, brushed her hair back from her face. Soon, sweetheart. Promise? I looked at this child, this beautiful, brave, perfect child who wasn't mine by blood but was mine in every other way. I promise. I lied. I promise everything's going to be okay. That night, after Emma fell asleep, I sat in the dark hospital room and thought about the woman out there who had my biological daughter. Did she know? Was she loving my child the way I'd loved Emma? Was my real daughter happy? Healthy? And what about Emma's biological mother? What would she think when she found out the hospital had given her the wrong baby? Would she want Emma back? Would she try to take her from me? The thought made me physically ill. I couldn't lose Emma. I couldn't. 2 days later, Patricia called me back to the conference room. The 3 other mothers were there. One was a black woman about my age, dressed in business attire. Professional, put together. She looked terrified. One was a white woman, older, maybe late 30s. She had red eyes like she'd been crying. One was a Latina woman, younger than me, holding her husband's hand. We all stared at each other. One of us had my daughter. One of us had their daughters. And we were about to find out who. Patricia cleared her throat. Thank you all for coming. I know this is incredibly difficult. We've conducted DNA tests on all of your families. I'm going to share the results now. She opened a folder. Ms. Chen, she looked at me. Your biological daughter is Isabel Rodriguez. The Latina woman gasped, grabbed her husband's arm. Mrs. Rodriguez, Patricia continued, your biological daughter is Emma Chen. The room went silent. The other 2 mothers exhaled in relief. Their daughters were theirs. They could leave. This nightmare wasn't theirs. But for me and Mrs. Rodriguez, Maria, I later learned, our nightmares were just beginning. Maria started crying. This isn't possible. Isabel is my daughter. I raised her. She looks like me. I know, Patricia said gently. This is devastating for everyone. But the DNA results are conclusive. I looked at Maria Rodriguez. This woman had my daughter, had raised her for 8 years, and I had hers. I need to see her, I said. I need to see Isabel. Maria's eyes widened with panic. No, you can't just— My daughter Emma needs a kidney transplant, I interrupted. Isabel might be a match. She might be able to save Emma's life. Maria's face crumpled. Emma needs what? A kidney transplant. She has 2 weeks, maybe less. Maria looked at me, at Patricia, at her husband. Are you saying you want to take my daughter's kidney? I'm saying I want to test if she's a match. If she is, and if you consent, yes. I'm asking you to consider donation. She's 8 years old, Maria said, her voice rising. You want me to let you cut into my 8-year-old daughter? She's my 8-year-old daughter, I shot back. Biologically. And yes, I'm asking you to help save the child you gave birth to. Maria stood up. This is insane. I can't do this right now. She left. Her husband followed. I sat there, numb. Patricia said quietly, "Give her time. This is a shock for everyone." "I don't have time," I said. "Emma doesn't have time." Over the next few days, the situation became a media circus. Someone leaked the story. Hospital switches babies, discovered 8 years later during medical crisis. It was on every news channel, reporters outside the hospital. Everyone had opinions. Some people said Maria should let Isabel be tested. It was the right thing to do. Emma's life was at stake. Others said I was selfish, that I couldn't expect a mother to put her child through surgery for a kid she'd never met. I didn't care about any of it. I only cared about Emma, who was getting sicker every day. The dialysis was buying us time, but not much. Finally, a week after the DNA results, Maria agreed to meet with me. Just us. No lawyers, no hospital administrators. We met in a small conference room. She looked exhausted. I probably looked worse. "I need to see Emma," she said. "Okay." We went to Emma's room together. Emma was awake, coloring in a coloring book. She looked up when we walked in. "Hi, Mommy. Who's that?" I opened my mouth but didn't know what to say. Maria stepped forward. "Hi, Emma. I'm Maria." Emma smiled. "Nice to meet you." Maria's eyes filled with tears. She stared at Emma, her biological daughter, like she was seeing a ghost. We stood there for a few minutes. Emma went back to coloring, oblivious to the weight of the moment. Finally, Maria whispered, "Can we talk outside?" We went into the hallway. Maria was crying. "She's beautiful." "She is. I gave birth to her. I didn't get to raise her, but I gave birth to her." "I know. And you want me to let my Isabel, donate a kidney to save her?" "Yes." Maria looked at me, really looked at me. "What if I say no?" I'd thought about this constantly. Then Emma dies. And I spend the rest of my life knowing my biological daughter could have saved her but didn't. That's not fair. Nothing about this is fair. Maria wiped her eyes. "I need to meet Isabel. Your Isabel, my biological daughter." "Okay." We arranged a meeting. Neutral location, a park. Just Maria and me and the girls. I picked up Isabel from Maria's house the day before. When I saw her for the first time, my heart stopped. She looked like me. Same eyes, same nose, same hair texture. This was my daughter, the child who should have been mine. She was shy at first. "Are you my aunt or something?" "Something like that," I said, my voice breaking. We went to the park. Emma was feeling okay that day. Good day between dialysis sessions, so she could come. I watched as Emma and Isabel met for the first time. Sisters by biology, strangers by circumstance. They were awkward at first. Then Emma, sweet Emma, offered to share her snacks. They started talking about school, about favorite colors, about silly 8-year-old things, and I watched Maria watch them. Saw her eyes tracking Emma, her biological daughter, the one she'd given birth to but never got to mother. After an hour, the girls were playing on the swings. Maria and I sat on a bench. "I'll do it," Maria said quietly. "What?" "I'll get Isabel tested. If she's a match, I'll consent to the donation." I couldn't speak. Tears were pouring down my face. "But," Maria continued, "I have conditions. Anything. I want to be part of Emma's life, visitation, a relationship. She's my daughter too, even if I didn't raise her." "Yes, of course." and you'll be part of Isabel's life. Same deal. I want that. Maria looked at me. This is going to be complicated. I know. We're going to have to figure out how to share our daughters. I know. But Emma needs help, and Isabel can help her. So we start there. We got Isabel tested the next day. Waited 3 agonizing days for results. Dr. Martinez called us both into his office. Maria, her husband, and me. Isabel is a match, he said. Not perfect, but good enough. We can proceed with the transplant. I broke down sobbing. Maria held my hand. The surgery was scheduled for the following week. Both girls were prepped. I explained to Emma what was happening as best as I could. Isabel is going to give me one of her kidneys? Emma asked. Yes, baby, if you both agree. Will it hurt her? A little, but she'll be okay, and you'll be okay. She's being really nice to me. She is. Is she my sister? I hesitated. Yeah, sweetie, in a way she is. The morning of the surgery, I sat with both girls. Emma in one room, Isabel in the room next door. I held Emma's hand. I love you so much. You know that, right? I love you too, Mommy. You're going to be okay. You're going to get better. I know. Then I went to Isabel's room. Maria was there, holding our daughter's hand. Isabel looked at me with my own eyes. Are you scared? Terrified, I admitted. Me too. You're the bravest girl I know. Will Emma be okay? Because of you, yes. She'll be okay because of you. Maria squeezed my hand. They took both girls into surgery. Maria and I sat in the waiting room together for 7 hours. Her husband brought coffee. We didn't talk much, just waited. Finally, Dr. Martinez came out, still in his surgical scrubs. Both girls did great. The surgery was successful. Emma's body is accepting the kidney. Isabel came through perfectly. We both collapsed in relief. Recovery took weeks. Emma and Isabel were in rooms next to each other. I split my time between both. So did Maria. Slowly, we all started to figure out this new reality. Emma started calling Maria Aunt Maria. Isabel started calling me Aunt Sarah. We had dinners together. Awkward at first, then easier. The girls became close, real sisters in their own way. Maria and I had hard conversations about the hospital's negligence, about the lawsuit we'd both filed, about how to navigate being mothers to each other's biological children. I don't want to replace you, Maria said one night. Emma knows you're her mom. Same. Isabel knows you're her mom. But they should also know the truth when they're older, when they can understand. Deal. It's been 6 months since the surgery. Emma is healthy, thriving. Her kidney function is perfect. Isabel has recovered completely. No complications. We see each other every week now. The girls have sleepovers. Maria and I text about school events and playdates and normal mom things. It's weird, it's complicated, but it's working. The hospital settled our lawsuits, gave us both substantial amounts. Enough for the girls' college funds. Enough that I could quit working so much and spend more time with Emma. Last week, Emma asked me, Mommy, why do Isabel and I look so much alike? I looked at Maria, who was sitting across from us at dinner. We'll tell you when you're older, sweetheart. Tell me what? A very special story. About what? About how you and Isabel are even more special than you know. She accepted that, for now. Someday, we'll tell them the whole truth. That they were switched at birth. That they're biological sisters who grew up apart. That a kidney transplant brought 2 families together in the strangest way possible. But for now, They're just two 8-year-old girls who are best friends and don't know they're actually sisters. I look at Emma every day, healthy, laughing, alive. And I think about how close I came to losing her. And I think about Isabel, my biological daughter, who saved her life. And I think about Maria, who had every right to say no but said yes anyway. The hospital's mistake destroyed lives. But in a strange way, it also created something beautiful. Two families who would never have met. Two girls who are sisters twice over. Bonds that never should have existed but do. I'm Sarah. I'm 30 years old. And I'm a mother to two daughters. One I raised, one I gave birth to, both mine, both precious. Life is stranger than fiction. And sometimes, the worst mistakes lead to the most unexpected blessings.